All right. Good late morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeView Markets and one of the coaches at TradeGATEHub. Jesus, what day is this? It's Wednesday. I know that. All right. It's October 12th. All right. We had the PPI come in this morning. I would say it's a muted response, up, down. Nobody really wants to do. I think it's basically speculators, position, shuffling around spec positions, if you will. There's plenty of time to get into something like Microsoft after the number. For example, let's look at this. If in fact you want to buy Microsoft in general, but here's the chart on Microsoft. So we come in here. It's a minute chart. I don't know why I have the minute up, but we do. There's the chart on something like Microsoft. We go to the weekly, the kiss of death. So you know what I mean. There's Microsoft on weekly. So as we head here and getting to mid-October into the CPI number, the moves in the market edified by the spies here. You look at them on a daily basis, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's a lack of follow through. Very, very good for day trading because the VIX is elevated above 30. It's been 32, 33 for the past couple of days now. Over 30 is always very, very good trading, and that's been evidence of what's going on in the moves this morning. Even if there is repositioning or shuffling, there's still a lot of movement going on. But you know what? I want to go into TradeGATEHub, and I just want to show everybody a stat. This is the TradeView Market site. I start every morning just like here on the site. This is what I do when I sign in the morning. I go here. I go TradeGATEHub. I go log in. Password saved. How you doing? Add KHC and KMB. Daniel, good morning. All right, we have some people posting. Where's G Money? Yen divergence. Coach, you nailed it out. Yes, he did. Boom, I'll reply. Bravo, Coach. You know what? This is a time where we need Coach more than ever because in this day, the UUP, the dollar and the TLT, the bonds, the bond and the dollar have been leading the equities, even internationally, if you will. The moves have been unprecedented, still are. And that this is the reason why I wanted to make a point here. You know what? It's this. No, it's not that. Bear with me. It's worth noting that one of the most persistent volatile periods in generations right here in 2002. Now, I was in here for what? Right there, the 98 dot-com bubble, financial crisis, COVID bounce, no, not the bounce off the financial crisis, COVID bounce. Okay, so listen, sum of 1% daily moves across 7 time frames. There's a lot of movement going on. You don't have to be a hero. Our greatest acumen in TradeGATEHub, over with Coach and I and Tim, is that we can take money. We pride ourselves on taking money out of the market every day. Yes, of course, with our experience, we like to expand those parameters and to become a speculator more to an investor. And you also have to keep in all these like the rules that got us here to begin with, which is don't average down into loser. The trend is your friend. Don't oversize. Don't, if you're watching every tick, you have too much on. Know your style. Know when and where. Why. Usually have a plan. Have an exit plan before you have an entry plan. So there's a lot of volatility. It's not as short of trading, and the volumes here at TradeView Markets, the volumes are as high as they are ever, and we're here to help you and stay active and make money and have a long career with trading. You know what? Day trading is the way to go, and it's probably going to always be that way. All right, so let's go with this morning where we sit. Okay. Now tomorrow's Coach and I have been saying this on our Tuesday podcast. If you missed it, if you did miss it, go to the red YouTube channel button. You go to videos. Now we have another 20,000 subscribers this past week. Bravo. And there it is, videos. One watching right now. Coach's video this morning at 9:30 Eastern, this being a little after 11, as I said, is already posted. So go back to our video yesterday, and Coach and I were saying that we're tired of using this word because it takes a lot of the authenticity or the gravity out of it. But it seems like with these economic numbers, almost once a week, that they're binary moves. I mean, you look at something. I mean, Microsoft. I don't use Microsoft. Not that Microsoft too, is having 10% moves in a week. You know what I mean? Or let's go something to AMD, for example. AMD is not that good of an example. Let's look at XBI, for example. label or the the biotech index. It doesn't look that big, but that's a range from what? 75 to 85, a $10 range when you trade in, 8, 10,000 shares within a week. It's a big, that's a lot of, if you're on the if you're on the wrong side and you carry, and you happen to carry it, and those losses will just exacerbate. That's what happened. It's what's happening to a degree. It's a market where it's been very hard to make back your losses that you're down, or to take money out of the market and make back on those losses that usually get exacerbated in moves like this. And that's evidence in the VIX being in the 30s. That's what happens. So if if you're getting hurt, in the short term, cut down your size dramatically, or get back on the TradeView demo. You know what I mean? Do some training, do some exercises and get back to basics. That's basically what I'm saying. Continue the share here. All right. Okay, let's get back to what we're starting today. Okay, a long-term chart of the comp. There it is. The VIX. You want to see it pop to 38 to 40. That's what we've been talking about for the last month in the room with Job and Gerard and Lewis and everyone. You know what I mean? It might not happen. And if the VIX doesn't pop in tomorrow's number, yeah. No, I got you, Coach. But thank you for posting, Coach. No, the jury's still out, and Coach, you have longer time frames than I do. But I'm applauding the entry point. Now, I guess I shouldn't be jinxing without closing out the trade, but I appreciate the trade and the transparency and the entry point I see right there. That's it's up to us as traders afterwards to take your cue and an entry point. It's up for us to get to handle the exit point. We'd like you to guide us through the trade, of course, but that's how we grow as traders, and knowing when and why, just not blindly doing trades. But bravo, Coach, good entry point. Going back to TradeGATEHub. Okay, so this is tactical sentiment coming into today. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we spent how many days last 2 weeks ago in oversold territory. It doesn't really matter. It's sentiment. And sentiment, especially when the VIX is this high in complete uncertainty with these binary economic numbers, sentiment stays way stretched. Then people can use that term salve. And I don't want to be that dramatic, but if it'll scare you into doing the right thing. Goldman Sachs equities, key events this week. We always post it. Upgrades, downgrades. The NASDAQ has entered into elite company, joining the most miserable market ever. Down 30% year to date, 5 days in a row with new tier. That's incredible, really. Fastly. Listen, something like this. Look at the chart on Fastly. This market really isn't predicated to my style right now because I do a couple of different. Day trading's fine, but Fastly, I think I sold this. I told the room where I sell this. 32. What I sell? 32. I sold Fastly. Where was that? Fastly, I sold right here. Like what, 8 months ago? It's 7. It went from a $500 billion company to 500 million. And it sits today sitting at 7. It's incredible. It really is. And there are a lot of there are more stocks than not. I learned a lot of things there. If a stock usually retraces 50% from its high, I think the stat is 80% of those 50% go down another 80% from the high. In evidence like something like a Zoom or a Square, things like that. I learned those things. You have to learn these things. I didn't learn it the hard way, knock on wood. I got nicked. All right. And you know what? For those, there's always the economic indicator. For those that don't care about the CPI, PPI, and I understand come in every day and have a plan. And if they want to trade, what my suggestion, and believe me, a lot of people at high levels that still do it, myself being included, knock on wood, is stocks day trading on range, good volume, and relative and good price action. Good price actions of what? If Apple, for example, is up $1, the NASDAQ pulls in 0.5%, and Apple's up 90 cents, that's certainly showing relative strength, and that's good price actions. You get the picture. So, and here's a list for all your styles. It doesn't matter what you do. All high volume, ranges, and change. MU to no surprise. Peggy says, for example, look at this PEGY. We'll go over here. Here's a chart on Peggy Bundy. Look at Peggy Bundy today. Broke out to a new high. And this is another thing for the younger guys. I have so many, I'm trying to reposition, as I said here early on. And if I was a little bit more lighter, I would be in something like a Peggy Bundy right here. Broke through a new high, has the volume, not even overbought that yet, has it in it. It's made these type of moves. So there's Peggy. So write this list down and go through the charts in the morning. That's why I post them. I don't feel, NVAX. NVAX yesterday, of course, everybody knew that, knew what was happening. Conversely, on down volume with range, half the stocks here lift into place. Square down again. Delta reversed after yesterday. Netflix was up 15 at one point. Was up 15. So you know what? You don't have to take a stand or take a long-term view in it. But certainly when Netflix has a range, a range of $15, a 6% move with heavy volume from, and what's the high and the low? The high and the low here on Netflix is 230 to 230, 17, $18 a minute. You know what I mean? I want to trade it with that 15 million shares, a lot of volume. That's my example. XP was look at that XP. I might want to buy that again. XP, look at the poor XP. That's like a STNE. That's a Brazilian payment provider. That's the chart. Was making a nice move up. I felt like a putz because it was breaking out. Then the proverbial stairs up, elevator down, gives back 2 weeks worth of trading. So next, but it has it has a range, volume, and good price action. Amazon, there's the chart. Jim Cramer, this was the story of the day before the PPI came back. PepsiCo early in the morning delivers some worldly numbers, questioning the breadth of the bear market. So see how Pepsi holds up. And you know what? Even if you're a day trader, Pepsi's in the news. This is what Pepsi did right on the open. Pepsi opened up at this broken line, 176, opened at 162, and you know what? So Pepsi went up on the open. You sharp? Coke went up on the open. Same thing. What about DPS? Dr. Pepper Snapper. How about Monster Beverage? Same thing, Monster Beverage. What else? What other beverages are there? What's Dr. Pepper? Dr. Pepper Snapper. It was DPS. Dr. Pepper Snapper. I'll have to find it out. I'll get back to you on that. All right. So again, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi. It went private. That's what happened, I think. Again, you may not trade it, but Pepsi's a good teller at these levels. And this is the levels on Pepsi long term. And certainly Gerard brought it 2 days ago, brought up Coke, Pepsi, a way better chart. Coca-Cola was off the bottom yesterday, but you got to be aware of it. So when you look at the staples, what's the XLP doing? The XLP is having a nice 3-day rally up. Not for me. I don't like 3 days up like that, but we are coming into a number. Keep in mind, blah, blah, blah. All right, back to TradeGATEHub. We're going to finish up here. All right, Lewis, thank you for posting. I feel exhausted as a day trader. That's right. You know what? That means the bear market's coming to an end. Hang in there. Get some sleep. All right, the IPO made a good point. Still working off that bottom and see if it runs and gets up to the end of the week. Pepsi helping, wondering what percentage of beat related to higher prices due to inflation. The dollar is the drag. Read the story on it. It's not sexy to read about Pepsi, but it'll tell you more. A lot. It'll probably, the article will tell you more about Pepsi, more about everything else than Pepsi itself. There's the plan. Anybody reboot? CCJ bought somebody. I was bidding for this in the 18s. Why was I bidding for CCJ in the 18s? They bought somebody. I go to the daily. I go to the weekly. I go to the daily, CCJ. There's my orders right here in the blue line. So I want CCJ around this, if I get it, 2034 for a position. I do. Right around the 20 strike price. So there are my orders in CCJ. I think I got 3,000, 2093, 2,000, 2047. So my orders are in a CCJ. I don't think, I mean, it's that they bought somebody. It's not just, they're taking it as negative news. It's just in this type of market with interest rates so high, buying somebody, you know, it's a risky move. It is. That's what the reason why it's down. Advanced trading, Mike V. All right, CCJ, we're bidding. Dice, hot stock yesterday that was posted to the active trader, posted hours ago. Where's the Dice man? Andrew Dice. We got Peggy Bundy and Andrew Dice Clay. Has a range, wouldn't short it. How about that? So Dice, they did the dippity do, and actually it opened up well. They did the dippity do, and then it ran. So it's Dice is a stock. You know what Dice looks like? AKRO. Before it moved right here. Before it moved, cut off that move right there to a degree, just stretch the chart out. So I'll do more research in. I'm not in it, but it has good price action. And what I've learned is I'm looking for new leaders in this type of market. I certainly don't think Square is going to turn around and become the new leader again. So that's why I'm putting those stocks into position. Into play. TradeGATEHub. Boom. Dice. G Money. Thank you. US dollar. Great call, coach, so far. Lewis is adding to the staples of KHC and KMB. I'm not going to talk him out of it or into it because Lewis has been seasoned enough where he can have a valid opinion. KHC coming up to the 50, they might be a little bit aggressive. I like it. You know, don't get me wrong. You might be paying up for it a tad, but listen, only reason I'm saying is Kentucky Fried, KHC to move from the double bottom at 32, or what coaches say never made the new low on that volume reversal day. It's a big move for KHC. KMB is an expensive stock. I get it. What stock was in the news today? Thank you, Coach. There was a good, what's acting well? People are buying Dollar General. Dollar General. People are buying this Dollar General and BJ's department store, BJ's wholesaler. I kind of like that back on the dip. I'm not sure. Lulu, which has been consistently been showing that. Oh no, you know what? Lulu has been down. I thought Lulu was showing better, but you know what? Roblox, that's squeezed. A stock I'm looking to go into, believe it or not, is Wolf, care of Mike Turk. Also a product of Chewy that's actually PetSmart. Chewy came down like that. Wolf, and I'm going to tell you why I like Wolf. What you're gonna be, and even something like Jobo or Gene Money, be seeing Mike D, why you like something like Wolf, and I'll tell you why. It's because I did a little research on my own this morning, as I do. And let's go to I get still I'm under time here. I'm getting a little cleaner and smoother today. I'm in a rhythm. Flow on Jesus. Oh, you know what? I don't know if it was the Jesus feed or maybe it was the public feed. Anti-VIX dead early, like most of the other indicators. Listen, there's the Vixen. That's not good. I'll get into that later. Fear and greed at 22, not enough. Cano, I had that take over. It was about the Wolf. Let me get into it because it was important. It was a good dissertation about retail. And I hope it is on the public Jesus feed because then you could go through it. The time for me to drink coffee. Back on decaf. It was years without caffeinating. I'm on decaf. Sorry, Tim. I'm weak. A weak man. I got to prove here it is. Goldman Sachs, recent company comments indicate more trade down here by low-end consumers. All right, but look at this, though. So I'm looking to put some money to work. Dick's Sporting and Dick's consumer is holding up very well, not seeing any trade down. So you know what? That's Goldman's report on Dick's Sporting Goods stores. There's the chart, and no surprise. And another one that I saw was Diff. And this is because Chewy made that short squeeze, Woof. And that's PetSmart. That's the other, that's the yin and yang. Have not seen a trade down, Woof. So I'm interested. Walmart, more pronounced consumer shifts. Lowe's, Home Depot, Home Depot is acting resilient. All right, so Home Depot maybe not making a new low right here, but this is just an Goldman indicator about retailers. Goldman making that a new low. It's one CPI number away from doing it. So I'm just trying to do some research on some longer trades. I don't have to do a lot of research on my shorter trades because everything's predicated upon volume, price action, and good range. That's all. Going back here, BBY, I don't like it. BJ, Dick's, Dollar Tree, Dollar General's the one. Dollar Tree. See, no sides are trained down the Dollar Tree. Consumer purchasing to more consumable. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. Gap Stores. Ollie. So I like this Ulta acting well. I'm into Wolf, but whatever. I might be going too much on this point. Okay, next. All right, wise guys, as we sit here, I don't think anybody's doing anything because I just took a peek and they says the indicators are don't look for many, anybody that's stepping up this close to this CPI number tomorrow is completely speculative or wants to take off something. So I wouldn't put much credence in anything. I'll post the Goldman trading rundown in a little bit later. Futures are grinding higher. I'll post it later. Oxy bullish, Alcoa. What's going on here? Alcoa making move up. We're in that in the fund. Alcoa, huge move up. What happened here? It always happens, right? Cenex hold. So and Alcoa is taking Cenex, an aluminum play. So I don't even have to look, and I see Cenex is hold and Alcoa is bluish. So if anybody wants to know the news and doesn't have any major filter, just go right here. Alcoa active. See that in Russia relation moving aluminum. Some active flow as well. So the steels are moving. Hopefully the nougat is moving. Is GLD moving? GLD is not moving. That sucks, but it will. So Cenex and Alcoa move. So there's Russian news. The Russians. White House weighs ban on Russian aluminum tort, but we're long Alcoa in the fund. That's good. I'm not going to look. It's a long-term hold. Back to TradeGATEHub. What the wise guys are doing. Back again. New share, Alcoa. So there's an Alcoa and Cenex. The aluminum sector. Roadblocks puts. WPM bearish. I might like that. Isn't that the silver line? Silver wheaton. WPM is the old silver wheaton. There's the news on Russia. White House ban on aluminum. Alcoa. We're in it though. Alcoa, what else? Besides Alcoa, we get X and Alcoa. So X might move on that a little bit later. Let's see how the metals move. Marathon bullish, CVS bullish, EBIX, Western Dig. Bottom line here, and this was 15 minutes ago as we sit 11:25. Sweeper activity and non-factor, order flow with an early bearish lean, but a lot of CPI and earnings protection out there. It's exactly what I said, and I should. So I read the guy all day long. And no. We may not see too much movement at the indexes till Fed minutes at 2, and if no material news from there, everybody will be waiting to CPI. All right. So maybe we're getting 4% cash right now. If you want to get 4% cash for 2 hours now, break it down. You can put some there. Until then, I'll post the movers up, down, and out movement and down movement. Or you can always just go this in TradeGATEHub. It's very simple. And go to stocks and just go to New York stocks, top US gainers, and go through the list like Mike V would do, and just go along Myrna. There's the list. You put the chart right next to you. Myrna making a pop. Loco, Poco Loco. So, see, we got the guys did a great job putting the charts right here. LASC. Somebody told me about that yesterday. Percentage change. HAP. RLX, China, Tops, Loco. Can I have one of mine on here, please? Derm. A's, Myrna. They couldn't take up NVAX, and G Money, you were right about the Myrna, about the NVAX. If it was actually, I'm out of NVAX, so it doesn't matter. But if that one was up 12, 20% and wasn't in it, that would upset me a little bit. So I'll go back here as it gets to 11 left before 11:30. Any questions, gents? If not, I'll leave it there. Once again, this is the bot, so I don't have to print it. This is what we're going to do now. This is it. I should just leave this on the screen like in the old days when you fell asleep at night and they came with all those colors, the letter to the spectrum. Remember that, Coach, when you fell asleep like watching the honeymooners? And 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you see all the bars of light. This is what I'm going to leave on here so everybody knows. So there's plenty of time to get a plan together, a short term for after lunch, into the Fed minutes, into the CPI number. And tomorrow's going to only be Thursday. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock is my other interview with Coach. Tuesdays and Thursday was doing one. It's probably going to even be more frequent at that. But okay, so until then, have a plan, trade well, and we'll see you after lunch. And please participate.